Hi everyone, this is AJ and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my review for the latest episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, episode 5. So, is this keeping up with what the past 4 episodes have given us, or has this episode dropped the ball? Let's find out together. Okay, so this episode is titled Spock and Amok, which is in reference or in homage to that Series 2 original series episode, Time Amok. You know the one. This episode comes to us directed by Rachel Leiterman. Now, this episode, it begins on Vulcan with a ceremony between Spock and his beau, his wife. But as it turns out, it's just this sort of dream sequence that Spock's having, that's his inner turmoil, sort of battle between his human and his Vulcan half. And this episode ties back to that Season 2 episode with a lot of callbacks within the sort of fight scene and the music played during that fight scene from the original series. You know the piece. Now, this episode is a slower paced episode than anything we've had before. The Enterprise finds itself in Starbase 1, which is a very old starbase, one of the first starbases obviously built. It's there for repairs from what happened in the previous episode, and also it gives the chance for the crew to have some much needed rest and relaxation. So the crew are off on different adventures, shall we say. The crew split up and we're given little peeks into their characters, which is fantastic. It's fantastic that the series is able to do this because it's doing these standalone episodes, whereas something like Picard and Discovery, because of the nature of their storytelling and one big arc of story, doesn't really have the time to step back and give you this slower paced story. You have Pike. He's dealing with this alien race, this zebra-faced alien race that wants to come into the Federation, and if they can't get them on board, then they're probably going to go and join the Klingons or the side with the Klingons and the Romulans and this sort of thing. So it's up to him and Spock to bring these lot in. But Spock's having issues with his relationship in that he's not finding the time to give time to that. He's putting duty above his personal life, which doesn't go down too well. It leads to him eating alone in a bar, and Nurse Chapel approaches him while she's been on a date and she wants to get out of that date. She gives him some friendly advice and he goes home and performs a mutual soul swap with his other half, to Pring, and they end up swapping bodies. So you've got this body swap episode going on as well, where Spock's in her body and she's in Spock's body, and they have to sort of pretend to be one another. So she gets to see a day in the life of Spock dealing with this alien race. She has to pretend to be him while he's off doing what she does, which she rehabilitatizes sort of criminals, essentially, that sort of thing. Vulcans that have stepped away from the that's more an analogy, but Vulcans that have stepped away from emotion and drawn them back in, stepped away from not having emotion, sorry, and drawn them back in to that sort of a thing. So it's an episode that's very much rooted in levity. There's some great stuff with Number One and Singh. They stay on board the Enterprise because they're all about duty and they don't have no fun and this sort of thing. But only while they're there, they come across 2 cadets who have decided to partake in some of the Enterprise bingo, thus leading these 2 to learn about Enterprise bingo and to understand it more. They work their way through the list and do all the things that are on there, just, you know, to understand the crew better. So again, this leads to some fantastic scenes. Yeah, it's a very, very strong episode. Like I said, no action, slower paced, but it's all character driven. It's all about the characters. It's all about you getting to know the characters and building a relationship, a viewer relationship with these characters. And in that sense, it is fantastic. So, has this episode dropped the ball? No, not at all. It's a fantastic episode, well directed, well written, well acted. this crew really is growing on me. There are certain elements that I won't go into that will upset certain people, no doubt, but I have to step away from this sort of stuff and just focus on the episodes as they are. So all in all, yes, 5 for 5. A very, very enjoyable episode for this latest series of Star Trek, which I am loving. Again, Anson Mount just delivers. The whole cast pretty much delivers sorry, in what they're given to do. Very, very strong storytelling. Again, big thumbs up. I'm loving it, and I'm going to be back next week for next week's episode around the same time as this, hopefully a little bit earlier. I was a bit late to the game today. But anyway, this is AJ. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Please consider hitting that subscribe button. More importantly, getting involved in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on this episode, whether you love it, whether you hate it, what you think of the series as a whole. Friendly conversation. We all have different opinions, and I appreciate that. People open my eyes to other parts of it that I've missed, and that I love. It's the best part about doing this is being able to interact and read your comments below. So yeah, comment, subscribe, notification bell, you know what to do, and I'll see you next week for the next episode of Strange New Worlds. AJ, I'm signing off. See you later all. Take care. Goodbye.